Welcome, everyone. Today we are going deep, really deep. We're going to take just one single kind of cryptic verse from the Zohar, and we're going to unpack it to reveal nothing less than the cosmic mechanics of faith and our connection to the divine. So this is where it all starts. Picture Isaac. He's in a foreign land, right? And on the surface, it sounds like he's just afraid for his life. But what we're about to discover is that this isn't just a simple fear. It's like he's taking a spiritual X-ray of the place he's in. This goes way beyond personal safety. It's about the very fabric of reality there. So here's our game plan for today. We're going to climb up through the 4 levels of understanding, what's known as Pardes. We'll start with the simple story, the Pishat, then look for the hints and deeper meanings in Remez and Drosh, and finally, we get to the Sod, the deep mystical secret. It's a journey from the outside in right to the soul of the text. Let's get started. All right, first stop, the ground floor. This is the Pshat, the simple, literal meaning. What you see is what you get. It's the historical event, right? The world as it looks to our 5 senses. And this is crucial because this foundation is what everything else is built on. Okay, so I want you to really picture this scene. We are not in the luminous, vibrant atmosphere of the Holy Land. No. This place, Gerar, it's dim. The colors are all washed out, dusty. The very air feels thin, you know? The only sound is this harsh, dry wind. It's like there's this spiritual static crackling all around, a feeling of concealment. And right in the middle of all of that, you have Isaac, standing firm. His inner light, his faith, is just this blazing contrast to the entire world around him. Now, this is where the text gives us a huge clue. Pay attention to this. Isaac doesn't say, hey, these people are evil or they're immoral. He says they lack something very specific. Yirat Elohim, awe or fear of God. And that's not just about being a good person. It points to something deeper, like a kind of spiritual blindness. They just can't see what's right in front of them. So the big question is, what is this fear of God that's so obviously missing from this place? Okay, time to level up. We're ascending now to Remez, the hint, and Drosh, the inquiry. This is where we put on our detective hats. We're moving past just the surface story and starting to map out the spiritual geography of the world, looking for those hidden patterns, the principles operating just out of sight. So the sages have this incredible teaching. They say the Holy Land, it's not just some random piece of real estate, you know? It's the spiritual heart of the entire world. And all other places, they're like the limbs of the body. Think about it. The core of your life force is in your heart. Well, in the same way, the core of the divine presence is manifested. It's centered in the Holy Land. And what this means is that there are basically 2 different operating systems for reality running on the planet. And this divine presence has a name, the Shekinah. Now, in the Holy Land, she's right there, out in the open. The spiritual vibe is luminous, the connection is direct. But the moment you step outside that land, the Shekinah goes into a state of concealment, of exile. So, you see, Isaac wasn't just visiting a foreign country. He was stepping into a low signal zone, a place with really low spiritual bandwidth, where the divine signal was being filtered, even blocked. All right, hold on. We are now arriving at the Sod, this secret level. And to really get what's going on here, to understand what Isaac was truly sensing, we have to switch languages. We're moving from geography to cosmic engineering. And here it is, the big secret from the Zohar. Fear of God isn't about being terrified. It's code. It's code for faith, emunah, a live, active, real-time connection to the divine. It's that feeling, that deep awareness that you are plugged directly into the source. So what Isaac was picking up on was basically a spiritual dead zone, a place that just didn't have the local software, the protocols for that kind of connection. Which leads to the real multi-million-dollar question, right? How in the world do you stay connected in a place like that? This tech analogy just nails it. Okay, let's break it down. Imagine the divine source. The infinite creative energy is like the cloud. Got it? Now, the Holy Land is the primary server. It's where the Shekinah, the divine operating system, is fully hosted. You get high bandwidth, 5G, fiber optic access. But Gerar, where Isaac is, that's a remote node. The connection is spotty. You're getting signal degradation, latency, tons of static. So to stay online, to stay connected, Isaac can't rely on the garbage local Wi-Fi. He has to turn on his own powerful internal encrypted connection, his personal hotspot, if you will. And that is his faith. So if we want to see how this actually works, like on a mechanical level, we have to look under the hood at the cosmic machinery itself. We're talking about the Sephirot. These are the 10 fundamental channels, the emanations, that the divine uses to interact with our world. You can think of them as the very blueprint of reality.
Okay, so in this whole cosmic play, Rebecca isn't just his wife. She represents the Sephirah of Malkut, the kingdom. She literally is the Shekinah made manifest in the world. Think of her like the physical hardware, the terminal, the screen and keyboard that lets the divine presence actually interact with our dimension. But here's the catch. Because she's physical, because she's tied to a place, she's totally vulnerable in an environment that's hostile or just spiritually blind. This is why Isaac is so afraid for his wife's sake. He's trying to protect the connection point.
And Isaac? He embodies Tiferet, beauty, balance. He's the central pillar of the whole Sephirotic tree. He's the channel itself, the encrypted data stream that's flowing from the source. It's his inner strength, that rock-solid faith of his, that acts as the security protocol. It's what maintains the integrity of the whole connection to the cloud, and it's what protects and sustains Malkut, Rebecca, even when she's surrounded by all that spiritual static and concealment. You can even see this whole dynamic play out in mystical color symbolism, which is amazing. The Holy Land, it operates in this white light of chesed, total loving kindness, a revealed presence. But outside that zone, the connection gets filtered through the red light of Gevura and Din. That's severity and judgment. This red light signifies the concealment of the miraculous, the world of just harsh, cold laws of nature. It's just a spiritually tougher, more challenging environment. And that's exactly why you need a much stronger internal faith just to pick up the signal.
And get this, there's even a hidden clue for us in the number 5. It's like a secret key. In Kabbalah, the number 5 points directly to the Sephirots we've been talking about. It can be Malchut, through the letter He, which has a numerical value of 5, or it can be Tiferet, which is often counted as the 5th Sephirah. The number itself is like a little breadcrumb trail left in the text, leading us straight to Isaac and Rebecca, the two main players in this whole cosmic drama.
Okay, so this is all fascinating stuff, right? This ancient, complex blueprint. But you might be thinking, what does this have to do with me? Well, the incredible thing about this teaching is that it scales perfectly. We can actually translate this cosmic engineering into a practical guide that works for anyone at any stage of life. Let's start with the kids, or, the kid in all of us. Think about it like a video game. You're the hero, obviously. The Holy Land, or really any place you feel that intense spiritual connection, that's your home base. That's where your power is maxed out, 100%. But when you travel, you enter these remote zones where the signal gets weaker. Well, your faith, that's your inner power core. It's what keeps you connected to your home base, even when you're down to one signal bar. And Rebecca, the Shekinah, that divine presence in your life, that's your most precious, powerful item in your inventory. You've got to protect it when you're in the outer zones. Now, for the adults, we can go right back to that cosmic engineering model. The Holy Land is the primary server. The diaspora, or any place of spiritual concealment, is just a remote environment with signal loss and lag. That lack of fear of God, that means the local network is basically like an unsecured public Wi-Fi at a coffee shop, totally exposed. Your faith, that is your robust internal authentication. It's your personal VPN that creates a secure encrypted tunnel straight back to the source. So Isaac's fear makes perfect sense. He's worried that on this unprotected network, the terminal itself, that physical embodiment of the divine in his life, could be hacked or compromised. His faith, in this model, is literally the firewall. And so here we are. We've walked the entire path of Pardes. We started with a seemingly simple story about a man in a strange place, and we've arrived at this profound, cosmic blueprint for how the soul operates when it's in exile. This really summarizes the whole journey, right? At the Peshat level, the simple story, Isaac is afraid they'll kill him. At the Remez level, we get the hint that fear of God means more than just being scared. With Drash, we dig deeper and learn about the special spiritual physics of the Holy Land versus everywhere else. And then, at the Sod level, the secret is revealed. This whole story is a universal blueprint. It teaches us that faith is not some passive, blind belief. No, it is an active technology that we use to maintain a secure, live connection to the divine, especially when the world around us feels like a place of total spiritual darkness. So that leaves us with a pretty big question to think about. If faith is the technology for connecting in the dark, what's the signal strength of your own environment, and maybe more importantly, How strong is your internal firewall? Thank you for joining us for this complete journey through the Pardes. We hope these ancient truths help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. If you enjoyed this full chapter deep dive, please like, subscribe, and share which part of the journey touched your soul in the comments. We'll see you in the next chapter.